A great way to get out of the summer slump, the burnout that we talked about a week or two ago, and to get back into a really good frame of mind in the garden is to tear out anything that is diseased, ugly, old, not producing, getting you down, and plant some new seeds. It's like a cleanse to slough off all those bad feelings and get your garden groove back. Now in this video, I'm going to include crops for almost anybody in any climate, but always make sure when you're finding something you want to grow to check your first frost date. And I'll put a link down below, but all you have to do is Google your zip code or city and first frost date, and it will let you know. Then use the seed packet to count back to make sure you've got enough days from seed to harvest before your first frost date. Now, on a lot of these cold season plants, you get a big buffer because a lot of them can handle light frost. So keep that in mind. And you can also purchase fleece row covers or plastic that will actually protect your plants from heavier frosts and extend your season even further. And at the end of the video, after all 10, I'm going to do a bonus for those of you who live in milder winter climates whose frost dates don't get here until maybe November, December, or maybe you get no frost at all. So stick around for that. Okay, sorry, the wind just blew the camera over. Starting with number one in no particular order is garlic. Now for me, garlic season, garlic planting time isn't until October, November. And so I don't have the capacity to do that right now, but last October, I did a video on planting garlic, and I'm going to link it down below in case you want to check it out. Now, in that video, I did an experiment, and it was, you know, a lot of times they say in milder climates, you need to put things in the refrigerator to mimic winter and then plant them. Well, I did that experiment last year to find out if that actually was needed for garlic. I planted some with that, some without. I did a video in June on the garlic harvest and the details of that experiment and the outcome of that experiment. So definitely go check out that video. I'll link that below if you live in a mild climate and want to know, how much better is it to put them in the fridge before you plant them. Because if you're going to put them in the fridge, now's the time. Number two on the list is spinach. Really popular green that is very fast growing. In fact, it only takes 30 days from seed to harvest, especially planted right now. You also want to know that spinach is a very frost-hardy vegetable. So even if you live in a cooler winter climate and actually downright cold, getting it started now will give you time to get a good harvest out of it. Number three is radishes. Radishes are a super quick crop, seed to harvest in 25 days. So almost anywhere you can get a radish harvest. Now, I don't love raw radishes. In fact, I hate them. Let's just be honest. I hate raw radishes. And I know some of you have skewered me for that, but it's true. If you roast them with a little olive oil or butter or bacon grease, they taste great. It takes the heat and the zip out of them, and they're almost like a mushy, a little bit watery potato. Number four is any of the Asian greens. So we're talking bok choy, pak choy, tatsoi, any of the mustards, and mizuna. And mizuna is actually the most cold tolerant of all of them. Number five is peas. Now, peas can be planted right now anywhere, even in the coldest winters, in the earliest winters. You may not get pea pods, but I gotta tell you, pea shoots are almost just as delicious. They taste almost like the pea, not quite as sweet, but definitely, not bitter at all. And that's actually just the piece of the tips of the plant that are growing that just start to put on buds. So you can cut them off, eat the tip, eat the bud. They're delicious in salads and even on their own. Number six is bunching onions. Now those are 45 days from seed to harvest. But the great thing about bunching onions is it's one of those vegetables that is easy to grow from kitchen scraps. Now a lot of those out there are myths or something that goes into the category of why bother. But onions really work. So if you save, when you're cutting up your green onion, save that bottom white part with a little bit of the roots, plant that right in the ground, and within 2 weeks, you're going to be able to start cutting onions. Number 7 is kale. Now, any of the kales will work through cold season and even during the summer. They're really cold tolerant and heat tolerant. With kale, why not try maybe a scarlet kale? Get some color in your diet. That's very hard to get in the cool months. Number 8 is cilantro, seed to harvest in 40 days. If you love cilantro like I do, you definitely want to plant this now. In any warm weather, it bolts quickly. Now, you can also buy cilantro transplants at the garden center and have a harvest in about 2 weeks and keep harvesting all the way till frost. Going along in the herb category is one of my favorites, chives. Now, chives are super fast to grow and you can almost start harvesting when they're 3 to 4 inches tall. But the good thing about chives is no matter when you plant them, they're going to perennialize. And so when your cold weather passes in the spring, you're going to have chives coming up full force. All right, number 10 is any of the leaf lettuces. Head lettuces, you will not have enough time to get a harvest. But leaf lettuces, you can almost start harvesting when they're about 4 to 5 inches tall and use the cut and come again method, which you take off the outer leaves and the middle will still continue to grow more. Or you can slice it off about 2 inches from the ground, get the whole bunch to take in for a salad, and then the rest will start to come up from that bunch that's still there, and you can keep harvesting until the frost kills your lettuce. Okay, so here's the bonus. If you live in a mild winter climate where you get little to no frost, now's a great time to start planting your brassicas. And those are cauliflower, broccoli, and cabbages. And you saw me in the last video yesterday replanting mine. Now, you want to make sure you check your frost because if you get a heavy frost, like a freeze, it's going to probably kill them even though they can withstand some light frosts. So I hope you got a lot out of this, at least 10 that you can grow anywhere you are in the world right now. Well, not in the southern hemisphere, but in the northern. You can plant those all right now and get a harvest before winter or even during winter. Make sure you are subscribed and hit the bell for notifications and view tomorrow's video because that is going to be the one you've waited for, the one I've promised and had to delay, taking your pepper plants from this year and saving them till next year to grow again. It can be done in any climate. See you tomorrow. Well, in this video, I'm going to go over crops that almost anybody in any climate can grow and plant in September. Plant that right in the ground, and within 2 weeks, you're going to be able to start cutting onions. Starting at the top in no particular order are the top 10 vegetables. Gosh dang it. Spinach is a very frost-hardy